What's poppin' YouTube? What's going on, you guys? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. You could have clicked any video on the internet, but you chose to click this one. So the narcissist, guys, the narcissist. We'll just hop right into it. So the narcissist, guys, is effectively and essentially someone who continues to get older and older and older, just like any one of us on the planet, but they never evolve as a person. They never grow as a person, okay? They they go through things and experiences and trauma and pain and all these sorts of things just like any one of us do. But the difference with the narcissist is that instead of reflecting on those experiences and integrating them into their person and using them as a way to evolve and grow and learn about themselves and about the world, right? They don't do that. They just they think they don't have to do that. You know what I mean? They think they just get to exist and just, well, they're gonna be the same person that they were when they were 13 years old, except they're just gonna get older and older and older and older, and nothing's ever gonna change. They're never gonna change as a person. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to do any work on themselves. Nothing like this. They don't have to do anything. You know what I mean? They just want to remain like a kid forever. I've said it in a video before, and it's the narcissist is a toddler in an adult's body. And that's essentially the case, guys. That they never want to grow as a person. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to do the work. And it's not that they can't do the work, because we all can, and they can too. They just refuse to do so. They don't want to do it, because if they were to grow as a person, if they were to reflect and change and integrate experiences and learn from trauma and pain and things of this nature, that would crush them psychologically. Like, they don't want to do that, guys. These people want to remain in their ego state permanently. They are the most egotistical people in the world. They are 100% their ego. They think they don't have to evolve at all. They think they don't have to change at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want to stay a kid forever, essentially. And it's not like they have this positive childlike kind of light about them. That's not what it is. They are like a petulant child. You know what I mean? Forever. And it doesn't matter how old they get, guys. The narcissist never grows as a person. They never do. That's why you can have experiences with these types of people when you're kind of younger, and then you don't, you go no contact with them for a while, and then you see them again, a few years later, or potentially even many years later down the line, and they're like the same person that they were when you knew them. They're just as toxic as they were when you knew them before, except now they've actually gotten worse as a person. They've become more toxic. Their life has gotten worse. They've become more hurtful and toxic and, just shitty, right? They haven't grown at all. They never grow, guys. They never change as people. They just never do, And then when they see you, the one who has grown, the one who's done the work, the one who is living your life the way you're supposed to live it, right? You're the person who is integrating these experiences that you've gone through and changing and learning and all this sort of stuff. They hate you. They just hate you, guys. These people are filled with hatred. They are filled with hatred. That's all the narcissist is, guys. It's a walking insecurity. The narcissist is a walking insecurity. They're filled with hatred. They hate everything. They hate you because you're a mirror, guys. When you grow and change and evolve and become a better person with age, and become a wiser person with age, become a more mature human being with age, like you're supposed to do, they hate you more and more and more and more, because they're not doing that. They're not doing that. A lot of these people, guys, I shit you not, a lot of these people are getting less mature with age. They're getting more toxic with age. They get more controlling, more manipulative, more insecure. All these things that they dial it up to 11. They turn it up to 11, guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, when they get older and older, it starts to reveal more of who they really are, because the mask slips. You know what I mean? The mask starts to slip. They can't really they can't hide anymore. You know what I mean? They start to really show you who they actually are, because that's who they were the whole time. But now they're starting to realize that they can't play this facade anymore. They can't play this game anymore with you. You know what I mean? They can't do that because it's no longer working, because you've become too discerning. You've built up your discernment so much that you can just see them for who they are, and they know it, and there's nothing they can do. So instead of being vulnerable and authentic and honest, they turn up the games, they turn up the manipulation, they turn up the controlling shit. You know what I mean? They turn up the mind games. They turn these things all the way up. They just keep getting worse and worse and worse because they have to. They have to do these things because the truth is, guys, the narcissist really needs you. They'll never admit this, but that's the truth. The narcissist needs you more than they'll ever admit. You don't need them. You know what I mean? You'll cut them off in a second, and you should, if these people are treating you like that, guys. You should absolutely cut off the narcissist, okay? But I understand it's not always that easy, right? But yeah, when they see you guys, when they see you and they see the person you've become and the person that you're becoming every day, it just pisses them off more and more and more. It pisses them off. They want to make you feel bad. They want to tear you down. They want to say little comments and little things and little subtle things here and there to get under your skin and make you feel bad about yourself. They want to bring you down. Guys, these people live in a constant state of misery, okay? They're miserable 24/7. They never have a moment of peace. It's nothing but chaos inside their head. And so the way they regulate that is by hurting other people. They need other people to regulate their emotions for them because they're not doing it internally. They're not doing the work, guys. You're dealing with a child. You're dealing with a child who's stuck inside of an adult's body. It's they have the emotional capacity of a child while continuing to physically get older and age as an adult. But psychologically and mentally, they never match their age psychologically. You see what I'm saying? They never grow. They never grow at all. And that's just the way they are. That's the way they are, guys. And it's kind of a sad thing. It's really easy to kind of fall into this mentality where I feel bad for this person. You know, it's sad to see them that way. And guys, don't fall into that, because that's what they want. They want you to like feel bad for them to where you come and try to rescue them and be their savior and all this type of stuff. Don't fall into that trap either, guys. I know that's easy too. I've fallen into that myself with these individuals in the past, and it's something that I'm working through now. But they want you to do that. They want you to like save them. They want you to pull them out of their shit for them because they can't do it themselves. They refuse to do it themselves. So they want you to, be their Jesus Christ for them. But the reality is, guys, none of us are Jesus Christ. If these guys and girls, if these men and women want to change and want to grow, they have to be willing to do that themselves. You cannot force self-awareness into someone. Self-awareness is something that someone has to develop within themselves if they want to change. Just like you did, just like I did. You can't force change, guys. You can't force growth onto somebody. That's something that they have to have within themselves. So yeah, guys, the narcissist never grows as a person. They refuse to grow. They never will. And the older they get, the more toxic they get, the more manipulative they get, the more controlling they become. They start to reveal their true colors, and they can no longer wear that mask anymore, because now it's starting to slip. Now you can see how much inner chaos they have inside. You can see how not in control of themselves they are. You know what I mean? They're panicky. Their entire existence is like a defense to reality. They are panicking. You know what I'm saying? Every day that goes by, they panic more and more and more, because they're starting to realize what life is all about, and they can't take it, guys. The narcissist can't handle reality. They can't handle it. So they defend their ego at all costs. They're in a constant state of, is this threatening me? You know what I mean? Is this an ego death for me? That I have to protect my ego and maintain my ego at all times. I can never change or never grow, because then I'll just collapse and I'll just die inside. You know what I mean? But the truth is, guys, we have to die to ourselves. That's the actual truth. You have to kill your ego daily. The ego is not your amigo. That sounded kind of funny, right? The ego is not your amigo, guys, but that's the truth though. The ego is a lie. We obviously we all have egos, right? Because we're all in bodies, but these people, guys, they don't want to let their ego die at all. They become more egotistical with age. And it's sad to see, man. It's so sad to see this stuff. You have people in your life that are this way, and they can't even see it within themselves. Like they cannot see themselves at all. You can see it clear as day. You can look at someone who is a narcissist and clearly tell this person is a narcissist. You know what I mean? If you've done the work, if you've done the healing work, and you've built a certain level of discernment. Sometimes it can be a little hard to spot at first, but if you've spent enough time around narcissists and you spend enough time around a person, you'll be able to tell who they are. But they can't see that in themselves. They have zero self-awareness at all. They are living in a state where they have to control and dominate and just be in like, how do I put this? Be in a state where they are in control at all times. You know what I mean? Like, and of you. They want not even of just their surroundings, of you. The way they regulate their emotions and the way they temporarily escape their misery and escape their inner chaos is by controlling other people or trying to, right? Sometimes they're successful if it's a naive person that they're dealing with. Sometimes they're not successful if it's someone like you watching this video or someone like me who knows about this kind of stuff, who spends a lot of time learning about narcissism and their tactics and the way they act and behave and stuff, guys. Again, if you've met one narcissist, you've met them all. They may look different on the outside, they may have different personalities, but they all use the same tactics. They all do the same shit. So, yeah, guys, you really gotta be careful out here in this modern society. Just about, I'm not gonna say everybody is a narcissist. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that being paranoid is something that you should be doing. You know, I'm not a paranoid person, and you shouldn't be either. But you should be aware of these things. You should be aware. You should have a certain level of education when it comes to this narcissism thing, because it will destroy you if you don't know about these people, guys. So yeah, that's the video, guys. The narcissist never grows as a person, and they never will. They will never change. They will never grow. They will remain a child forever, because that's just the way that they are interfacing with reality, guys. That's the way they're interfacing with reality. Their entire being is a defense to reality. That's what it is. That's the video, guys. Hopefully if you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys in the next one.